Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode against Tal Carlson. Uh-oh. Rated 1766. So we have Tal and Carlson in the same person. So super strong. They're playing the Sicilian against us. We're going to play our little setup. Grand Prix, Accelerated Rosalimo. Call it what you want. He does the most standard, most popular fianchetto setup. And we're going to snap the knight, forcing the doubling of pawns. Oh, interesting. We normally don't see too many games where they take this way, away from the center, but it does open up the queen and the bishop, so it speeds up development. He uses that um, new development to pin our knight. It doesn't create a threat, and so I'm going to force the trade as he gives up his bishop for no compensation, I guess. Now he develops the knight. When you can kick a knight from the center, you should consider it. He can go here. Is this a good square? I mean, you could kick it, but then you're severely weak in your structure. This knight goes somewhere, and I don't like that. So let's not kick it. Let's just develop a piece towards the center. You could also castle, of course. You could also develop for free, which I kind of slept on, but either way, it's the same thing probably. It'll transpose because he's not going to let you take it. He's going to defend it. So yeah, so queen a5 is probably what he would have played anyway on the bishop move. This protects and pins. You could x-ray now that the queen's specifically there, which is interesting. But for the time being, I'm going to castle and just unpin like that. See what black's intentions are. Okay, black castle's short. Fine. But now that he moved the queen away, now if I kick the knight and the knight jumps in the center and we take and he takes, there's a pawn hanging because it's undefended. So things have changed. Also, our knight's here before I was looking at pawn push. So takes here, here, rook over, I don't know, queen somewhere. That looks like it either wins a pawn or forces him to a bad square. So I'll include it. Not only does it mess with his development, but it furthers my own improvement of pieces. You've seen this many times. I push the e-pawn as a clearance idea. He notices the pawn that would be hanging, chooses against it. So we could jump in here. It's not for free yet. So let's develop and align with the queen, and then it will be for free as it defends backwards. So he moves the queen, comes with a one move threat. Now we also have this option, which I like. So let's go to the side. You've seen this in a lot of our Sicilian games. We play b3 to support the knight, discourage c4, get out of this attack. So he goes back. Maybe he wants to kick the knight, but we go here for free, improve for free, cover our king's diagonal for free, and if he kicks the knight, he hangs a pawn. So he protects the pawn. Fine. That slightly weakens these light squares, which we have some pressure on, and now we can maybe reroute our knight. We don't want our rook in this alignment, and we do want to play b3 at some point, so moving our rook makes a lot of sense. So let's bring it towards the center, down these files. Now when we go b3, we don't have to worry about any dark square holes. He goes e6. What's the threat? No threat. Why do you do that, actually? So we don't push? Maybe. But it weakens the dark squares. Makes it harder for him to push f6 successfully. So we don't mind this move. It doesn't actually like develop anything. So we have options here. Because he just made this move, he made these squares way stronger for us. So a knight here would be devastating. So now instead of going b3 and cementing the knight here, I kind of want to go back around. He'll have to move his rook and go bishop f8, but then the f6 square we can hop into maybe. Oh yeah, also he's trying to stop f5, I think. So I wonder if g4 is a move. Although this guy's hanging in every line. There's lots of different ways to play this. Let's bring our knight back. Stick with my original idea. You could probably try to kingside expand. You could probably try to center expand. A lot of moves. This bishop is kind of in the way of our rook now. Maybe it goes somewhere else, but not anytime soon. I don't know what he does to break down our center, though. And I'd much rather be white. This is not what you want when you fianchetto your bishop. This is not the scenario you envision. Same with his knight, right? Not exactly a good knight. Maybe he'll go b5, right? Before he couldn't because we were pressuring the pawn. Okay, so he moves the knight to defend this pawn so he can move his queen? Or to go here? Both ideas kind of, I want to say, terrible, and I'm going to improve my knight to the nice, obvious central square that looks at this strong outpost and would be an octopus knight. Why did he put his knight there? Super awkward. I thought he would just, okay, so it was to go here. I mean, but this obviously is dumb. I could just go a3. What? I almost want to allow it and then go a3, so he has to waste so many turns going the other way. All that means is you would have to protect this pawn now. So can we make a useful move that protects that pawn? Like the preemptive doubling. This prepares doubling in the future. That could be useful. We could double on either file. Any other good ways to cover this? Potentially the queen here so we can attack the dark squares. Maybe checkmate the guy. It does release pressure off of this, but let's go with the doubling, as that should prove useful no matter what. Encourage him to go here. I hope he does. But even if he doesn't, now you know you don't have to worry about it. Okay, he moves the queen. Wants to go here? What an awkward sequence of moves. I guess that's his plan, trying to attack and maybe queen trade, contest. But we do have our knight here, and I think now might be a good time to stick it in there. This is also a royal fork, if we can ever arrange it. But I'm going to go for this square, an octopus knight. It takes him 2 turns to attack it, and we can even retreat it, right? Okay, so he goes back, which is funny, because he wants to contest the knight. Now that makes more sense. So that was his plan. It wasn't to go here. It was to move the queen. It was like a 5-move process. Yikes. Which, okay, he can do it if he wants. We could just play in the center. I mean, there are some potential maybe kingside ideas, but I feel like that's just my own preference and not really what's called for. Okay, so I'm going to reposition my rooks towards the center, x-ray his queen, get ready to just push my pawns. He goes here. Now this is not a good square for the knight, so there's no reason for me to allow this. You could just put this back. That does allow him to do his little thing, and then boom. Queen trades. Maybe we don't want a queen trade. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If we go this way, he could still go for the queen trade. It's not like we prevented it. So let's just go back to a really good square and leave his knight on a really bad square. Just because you moved here, don't be afraid to move back, right? All he's doing is jumping his knight around. So you could go back and forth and leave your opponent with worse pieces. Okay, he makes this move, which, you know, we're the ones who have a rook opposite your queen, so you're the one who needs to be wary of these type moves. Like, you shouldn't be making them as black. We get to push past, strengthen our center. He can challenge it again, but to what end, right? If anything, he's again helping us. See, he does it, but now we go c3, and our center's way better than before. He takes, which seems suicidal, but okay. You could take either way. They're all good. But you know what? I'm just going to get my rooks in. Now I have an avenue of play for them. He goes this way, which immediately hangs the game. Can you guys see the move? I'll give you 5 seconds. Feel free to pause. The key is the queen is undefended. He walks into a discovery. And Tal Carlson, not so much. Move 25, 1770, hangs his queen, and resigns. Awesome. So let's analyze. And we didn't have to convert. Do you see? It makes the game so much easier. But on the downside is you don't get practice converting, and then that is a skill. And if you want to improve, you should improve it too. So anyway, development and center. Development, king safety, center. This is free stuff in the sense we double his pawns, but we also give up our bishop. Center and development. Improving our position for free. Force move and free stuff. Development and center. King safety and development. So if you look at the graph, it's kind of low. You can't really see it, but it's all white. So black was never better. We did have 2 mistakes where we messed up our advantage a little bit, but that's because we're not an engine. So improving our position for free. And it says white's about a pawn better, pawn and a half almost. Development and for free, because this x-ray, half for free. Okay, improving a piece for free. Oops. So knight a5 was move. Knight a4 was this. Okay, it is the best move, or one of the top 3, so whatever. This is kind of a waste of a turn, because he's obviously not going to let us win this pawn. We should have just moved our rook to the center to begin with, and the bishop wouldn't be blocking it. So fine. But still, it is for free, so it's not a big deal. Now we develop and center, although we would rather have our bishop here, so. Okay, so yeah, you could play knight c3 or start with the central plan d4. They even list c4, but I'm not sure about those structures or how they work. So we improve a piece with the newly created weakness he just made, taking advantage of the drawback. It says this is a blunder because of knight e4, which we play. Improve a piece here. And okay, this move like doesn't really do much. So if we're looking for other moves that don't try to trap our opponent, right, because that's a little hope chess, we could do what we did in the game and just try to break through in the center with c3, d4. You can also, like I said, go for the king side stuff with h4, h5. So c3 and h4 are the top moves, and rook e2. They're all +2. It's funny they list rook e2. Like, what? So we play rook e2. Trying to get him to go here, which is a bit dumb, but okay. It says we're +2, but we're not actually up anything. So you could, like, if you make one slow move, that can easily drop entirely or most of it. So we're only +2 if we continue again with the kingside attack, which is what I said my preference was. And the engine actually likes it. I never will understand how c4 works, though. Okay, his queen gets trapped or something. I don't know. I'm not calculating that. I'm not playing that move regardless because that's engine-y. So what did we play? Okay, we hopped our knight in. Oh, I see. This is a mistake because sure we're still better, but it does allow him f6 because that undermines the knight. And normally f6 we like it because if after takes his e file and e pawn is super weak. But here we can't take because of our knight. Or maybe you can because of his bishop. You got to calculate. Yeah, if he takes the knight, he's going to lose the bishop, so he has to kind of take back, and now your knight's stranded. You go back. He'll go back. Yeah, white's still clearly better, but there's probably stronger lines, or there's definitely stronger lines, since the engine says. But he doesn't do that. He goes for the trade. Okay, so in hindsight, this is just very premature. It doesn't attack anything. The only reason I threw it in right now was to avoid queen d5. So let's say we do something and he goes queen d5. Just don't move your knight and he never gets the queen trade, basically. We can just continue. We don't care about the pawn. And okay, he took his 2 pawns, but that's the end of it. There's nothing else for him to do on the queen side. And it's +5. Knight b4, takes, takes. We threaten mate. He tries to stop it. We try to break it down. He tries to lock things completely, but there goes the e pawn because he played f6. If he goes this way, surely we take stuff or sack our rook. So it's just a devastating attack. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I was mentioning g4 and kingside attack, but instead I chose the incorrect premature knight thing because I was impatient. Okay, development, remaneuvering, center. You kind of don't need it, I guess. You could kind of just go c3, d4 first, but I feel like, does it really hurt to have your rook here and just blast through with this queen? I don't think so. He goes for the trade, so kind of forced. Don't trade for this terrible knight. Our position looks great. It says we're up +1. He goes here. I don't think it's a good move. We actually had the opportunity of doubling here, which is super clever. But I didn't consider it, and I auto pushed past. Again, not a real mistake. Doesn't collapse our position. We have a beautiful center, still up pawn's worth strategically. But doubling would have been super clever because his queen's there. If he takes, I mean, you're already doubled on the only open file. Look at his rooks, so clear winning position there. They're +2. And if he doesn't take, you're going to take and do it anyway. But by pushing, you're leaving your rooks without the open file for a little longer. Now, I didn't mind that because I know he has more pawns. So I'm easily going to open it up at some point. And even if I don't open up my rooks, like this center's so dominating, to me that looks winning. So we go here, our second and last mistake, and he pushes past. We play c3, defending, improving our position for free, creating a pawn chain, threatening to win material with the discovery. So we're +2.1 here, so we have a crushing position. He takes, which is a mistake, and I said you can take either way, but rook is stronger. the strongest, bishop is the next strongest, and then pawn. 2.4, 1.6.7. Kind of a big difference. So taking with the pawn has the same problem of keeping your rooks behind, and I guess the problem is we don't have the light square control we need yet, so we can blockade it, so we can't really get it through. So it's important to take with a piece. And then he blunders entirely. But even if he didn't, it's plus 2.4. So if he moves his queen anywhere, right? Now we double. We're about to come in. He can't contest us. He can't move his knight. He can't move his rook. I mean, I guess he can move his bishop, but and he's stuck. And look at our beautiful position. It's just extremely dominating. We have a wedge pawn. Out of the 4 central squares, we're in 3 of them. He's in 0. He's cooked. So an interesting Sicilian game as we inch closer to 1800. Just a couple more games, guys, and we'll be switching things up. Good luck in your chess, and goodbye.